happy full moon in Virgo. This is a really potent full moon. I've heard from people that they're either sleeping better than they usually sleep or they're not getting any sleep at all. This is a potent one. I am just about to write my release list. I don't know if you know about such things, but for new moons and full moons, it's always a really good idea to do certain things. There are a lot of things you can do. I decide to, for the new moon, write a list of intentions for that phase until the full moon. And then for the full moon, I write a list of things that are no longer serving me that I wish to release with the clearing, cleansing full moon. This time around, things that we should concentrate on releasing, if we're going to do a release list, are people or things that are not serving our higher good or our higher power, whatever words you want to use, our spirituality. If there is a certain group or certain people who are not helping your case when it comes to your spirituality or discovering your spirituality or growing in your spirituality, those things, groups, people, you may need to walk away. You may need to release them. You may need to write them on your list and burn that list. So that's what I've been up to. Also, I went to Walmart today. Yes, everybody has to go. I mean, you don't have to, but I did choose to today. I don't do it very often. What are you doing to clear and cleanse and protect your energy when you go in that place? When I was a kid, I've never liked shopping, and everybody was like, what is with you? Are you a girl or what? And my mom loved it. My sister loved it. We'd go with my grandma, and I always thought to myself, why am I so exhausted when I'm in these stores? And after, I'm not walking that far. And I've been a runner a long time, so I'm like, it's not that much effort. Why am I so tired when I'm coming from these places? Well, now that I know more about energy and how that all works, I realize people are just zapping my energy, and there is some low energies, some static energy in there. So there are some things you can do. I'm not going to talk about that in this live. It'll probably be down the line a bit. I have so many things to talk about. But, think about that before you go into stores, if you know how. Clearing your energy, even something like this, just thinking, sweeping away static energy before you then protect yourself, protect your energy. There is an energy layers all the way around your body. It's called your electromagnetic biofield. So I want to talk a little bit about the biofield today. You may know that one of the big things that I do is biofield tuning. I don't have a person helping me. They're like, oh no, you're shaking, something's going wrong. Yeah, I don't have a camera person to help me. I'm doing it myself. That's what's wrong. So biofield is, I have little maps here. Biofield anatomy map. The basic premise is every time that something happens in our lives, or even in the lives of our ancestors, that gets stored in the energy around our body. And it can cause either what I see when I have a person that I do a biofield tuning with. I see them as like little cartoon scribbles, like hairball kind of scribbles. I see that in people's energy field. Or I just see big holes in their energy field. So that can really affect our emotions. It can affect what's happening to our bodies, because eventually all of these traumas that are in our energy field, all around our energy field, can build up and manifest onto the body as some kind of dis-ease, some kind of discomfort. So the biofield stores all of that, and the biofield can even store our ancestors' traumas, things that happened to our ancestors. I'll just give you a little tour, just a little one today, a little bit of what's up with the biofield anatomy map. This was developed by a scientist and sound healer, author, all-around great person. Her name is Eileen McCusick. She lives in Vermont. She lives a lot of the year in Jamaica. She's also trying to have funding for a program where she and others will teach people in Jamaica how to do some of this biofield tuning, because there's a lot of trauma going on in a lot of these places. So that's very admirable of her. She did thousands of tunings just using tuning forks around the body, not even on the body. And through thousands of tunings, this is what she came up with, this map, the anatomy map. And I'll just show you a little. This is the whole, this is kind of what she sees our biofield around our body is looking like. On the very right side is the masculine. It's like a lot of energy systems, a lot of energy modalities. The right side is the masculine, the dad side, and the left side is the feminine side, the mom side. So on the very outer edge, I know it's hard to see, it's like a little tube on each side. It goes along the very outer edge of our biofields. They're called the ancestral rivers. So on the right side is our dad's ancestral river, and on the left side is our mom's ancestral river. And in these rivers is whatever trauma happened to our parents, their parents, great-grandparents, great. I used to tell people 7 to 9 generations, and since then, I have done hundreds of healings myself. I've done hundreds of biofield tunings myself, and through the years that I've done this, I have intuitively gotten hits from ancient Egypt. I've gotten hits from the 1300s, Vikings a few times. I think I got ancient Egypt a few times. Always validated, not like, what, this woman is just crazy and talking out of her head. Well, I am talking out of my head, but it's intuitive talking. So it could be any of the trauma that happens on that side is in that river, and it is going to eventually affect and go in to the body. It'll go into your life. So the very outer edge is the ancestral river, and then as we go in, it's at the very outer inside of the ancestral river is gestation and birth, which I did like my first live on my birthday, last day in September. It was my birthday. And I talked about how I had a hard time on my birthday because of the trauma of being left. And it still affected me today. So I hear a lot of baby, birth, gestation, delivery trauma. And it could be just such a little thing like, they smacked your ass and didn't give you to your mom right away. I mean, back then they just thought that was the right thing to do, but now we know that's a baby needs to be given to their mom right away. Don't be cleaning that baby up and Don't be smacking that baby. Give the mom the baby. That the baby just came from there, and the baby needs to be back in the mom's arms right away. Pronto, pronto. But anyway, it could be anything like that. The bright lights, forceps were used. I had forceps used on me, and my birth mom had forceps used on her, and she was blind in one eye because something went wrong. I mean, that's a trauma. So I can hear that very much. Birth, there's a lot of trauma that goes with that. And then as we go in towards the body, that's however old you are, once we get to the very, very body, that is the age you are now. It's kind of like a tree. So whatever happens in that lifetime can be heard. I can hear it in the singing bowls. I usually take this singing bowl, and when I listen to the lifetime, I'll slide it. It has a pretty pure sound, right? But when I slide it along somebody's biofield in their timeline, there are a lot of discrepancies in sound, a lot of wavers, and and I'm able to say, what happened to you when you were 17? What happened in this point when you were 32? So that's how I'm able to assess what is happening before I tune it. I'm not going to show you everything I do right now. I may do a sample tuning sometime in a few weeks, just so you get an idea. But at the same time, when Eileen McCusick did the sound healings, she discovered that different parts of the body often held the same emotions. Like the right foot. Just think about where you're having a pain. The right foot, a typical emotion for the right foot issue is next steps, where we're headed, and how we feel about it. I know this is backwards and you can't even read it, but I'm reading it to you. I may as well just do that because I know you can't read it. Unless you are just an awesome backwards word reader. A lot of people have left foot pain. Well, that's being mired, stuck, unable to get away from stressors. And that may be a trauma that started with your ancestors. A lot of times I will hear things like oppression with women. Often there are signs of mysticism on that side where it was discouraged or people had to flee for their lives. The left knee, challenges with attachment and letting go if you're having left knee pain. I have someone right now who has left knee pain and she's kind of dealing with still having to let go of some attachments on people who have passed on in her life. So I won't do the whole thing today. I just wanted to give you just a mini introduction to kind of what biofield tuning is, or at least what the biofield is, and in somebody's interpretation of what is happening to our energy in the biofield. So, happy full moon. I hope you get those releasing lists written out. I'm telling you, writing things out is so effective. Something when you put pen to paper, it activates something in the frontal lobe that just really, it is like a ceremony for the human soul. It makes it out there. It makes it more final. So I wish you all a happy, happy full moon. See you next time. Namaste.